What's going on? Y'all already know it's your boy Morbius, and it's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Comic Relief, episode 27. Let's get into it. What's going on, brother?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's good, brother? Glad to have you here, man. What's going on?
Nice. You left me speechless with that new intro, bro. I was like,
yo, dude,
what's this?
Trying new things, man. Trying new things, you
know? Nice.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Chamorro. You know, he hooked it up with that, man. He came through. So Chamorro Cinema, he came through with that one.
Nice.
Bless me with that, man. So shout out to him. Yo, first of all, just shout out to everybody who's catching this right now. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. Appreciate you guys here. Shout out to everybody watching the replay. Thank you so much. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe. Make sure you smash that like button. And if you're catching this now, thank you again. I appreciate you. And yo, speaking of the chat, who's in the building? Let's get into this chat. First of all, I got to give a shout out to the homie Ian. He was in here earlier. Shout out to HoodRatComics. Hopefully he's still here. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you, man. And then we got also we got discus720. He was giving us a quick update on Baltimore Con. Yup. So you got to get your vaccine. Got to show your card to get in. So that's the new one. So here we go. We got the homie Sove Collector. Happy Tuesday. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. You already know. And let's see who else we got in here. Oh, we got some homies up in the building. Just jumping on me for a second. What's good? Big Nigel in the building.
What up, Nigel?
What's going on? We got the homie Jason. What's good, big brother?
Hello, Jason.
Gangsta J, son. Better watch out for him, son. For real. See, it's Florida in the building. Salute. You already know.
Wasabi.
Got the heavy hitters in the building right now. And of course, gotta give a shout out to the big bro. PJ Morris. What's good?
Mr. Silver Age himself.
That's the homie. Oh, hold on a second. You got somebody in the building just rolled up in here. What's going on? Shell Moonlit was good. Salute. That's family right there. That is official Comic Relief family. So let's see who else we got in the building. So I guess we're good. We got it. Yo, thank you everybody who's in here with us. We wanted to do something different. So I got the homie Krash, of course, being my co-host for the week, as always, holding me down. On camera, off camera, you know, that's the homie for those who don't know. So we wanted to do something different today. We figured, you know, you're not gonna have a guest, you know, and we'll just have an open forum where I'll put the link. You know, if you guys want to jump on, we could jump on for a few minutes. You speak your mind. We give you a quick rebuttal on what we think. We blah, and then we go to the next person if y'all interested. You know, shout out to Ragin Cajun up in the building.
Ragin Cajun.
What's going on, brother? Yes, sir. So we figured we'd do that. Let me hold on a second. Let me make sure I got this here. Hold on a second, guys. All right, so see if this works. It's my first time. Don't know what I'm doing. Just trying to figure this shit out as we go along.
All right.
So I think I put the invite in the chat. Hopefully it works. I'm not sure how this is gonna work, you know, but trying to figure this out as we go. But yeah, man.
So who was just saying about the who was just saying about that con in Baltimore? Who mentioned that?
Oh, yes. That was Digger. You know, where we at? Yeah, discus720. Okay. He was saying he just, you know, had mentioned the new protocol, you know, for Baltimore Con where you have to be vaccinated to go. So, you know, that's kind of, you know, that's pretty crazy, especially what's going on right now. You know, a lot of people are choosing not to be vaccinated, and everybody got their choice. To be honest, I'm not even gonna try to get into the whole health thing about it behind it. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to say, like, people, this is their own body. If this is what they want to do, they want to put themselves at risk, or rather, you know, not. That's up to them. However they feel, they could go about it. But
yeah, this weekend we just had we just had Dragon Con out here in Atlanta, and they were basically saying that if you don't have your vaccine, you can't get in. So they were telling people, because usually when they have Dragon Con, you know, happens here in Atlanta every year. What it is that even if you don't purchase tickets, you can still participate because they have it outdoors and out in the streets and whatnot. So, but this year everything was contained, and you needed to have your vaccine shot to get in. So,
word. Yeah, real quick before we get into the combo, salute, cheers to everybody who's in the chat. You already know we'll get our drink up in here. And a perfect timing, bringing our drink up in here. We got the big homie, Scheme Richard. Salute, my big brother.
Oh, let me pour my shot.
I just got his shot ready.
I just got this from Puerto Rico. Just recently got back from Puerto Rico with the wife.
That's right, man. Salute, brother.
And got this nice 8-year-old aged rum with my little Puerto Rico shot glass. All right, here we go.
Here we go. Salute. Now, what I'm drinking is actually some like hood, old school shit that we used to drink back on the block. So it's Hennessy with Baileys. So it's 1 part Hennessy, 2 part Baileys. And that's what we used to do. We used to just mix it up, especially in the wintertime. We used to love drinking this in the winter. Keep the bottles in the snow, keep everything nice and cold. You know what I mean? We make our little drinks while we hustling. You know, it's just back in the day shit. You know, we enjoyed ourselves. Salute, Big Paul. Cheers to you.
All right.
But yeah, man, some old ghetto mix. So what happened was over the weekend, you know, of course, happy Labor Day weekend, everybody who enjoyed themselves. Hope y'all did. I know with the storm, it was probably crazy. Those recovering from it up here in the East Coast, up northern East Coast. But yeah, so we you know, me and my wife, we went to go get a bottle of Bailey, and they had like the biggest bottle you could ever find. I was just like, yo, you don't have like the medium size? And it was just like, nope, that's all we got. And it's like, yo, we in the car, ready to go. It's like, yo, bro, we got to go with this one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we already in the car. We got to go. Let's go. You know, so I still have so much of it left over. So I figured, let me mix it with the Henny, try to kill it, you know. And once again, salute to everybody. Yeah, I already know.
All right.
But getting back to the topic of, that's a crazy topic right now, too. I didn't even plan on getting onto this topic of the whole vaccinated and non-vaccinated, but it does affect me because, you know, I'm actually, you know, going to Baltimore Con. You know what I mean? Right. So, and there's a lot of people I know who, I appreciate you. Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate you. Birthday week look fantastic, man. Appreciate you, man. Had a great time, bro. Not to change subject, man. Had a great time. Love it, man. You guys definitely got to take time to go out, get out of the state. You know what I mean? Rent a little cabin upstate somewhere and just get away. It's the best thing, man. It was well deserved. It's like going to Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to Puerto Rico without the beach. It's like going to Puerto Rico without the beach.
Hey, you got to do those things. You know, wifey wanted to get away for her birthday, so we made it happen. We had a great time. Right. We had the beach right across the street. You could see it from our window, and it was a little like semi-private beach, so there wasn't a lot of people on there. And it was really nice, man. I didn't stop eating the whole time I was there, so I got like an extra stomach.
That's what's up, yo. Salute to Thomas Jackson, who is, those who don't know, that's Professor Horton. You know what I mean, on IG, the man himself. Salute to you. His birthday was on the 3rd. Mine was on the 4th. Makes total sense now, my brother. Makes total sense. He's a Virgo, of course. Salute to you, sir. But man, it's crazy with this whole vaccination thing because it's like, if you're not vaccinated, what now? And let's say if you bought your tickets in advance and you're not choosing to be vaccinated, what now? You know?
Well, that is a really important question. But I guess regarding that, the bigger question would be, was that in the fine print before you bought your tickets? Because if it wasn't, then and you don't have your vaccine, then they need to give you 100% refund.
Yeah, I see. That's that tricky line. It's like, all right, so now they have to refund your money, you know, but then that sucks for those people, you know, that don't want to get vaccinated, you know, or don't have the means to even, or don't want to get tested, because it did say you could take a test, and it has to be proof within the last before, within the 2 weeks period before the show, the con comes up. You know, you could take a test to prove that you don't have it. You know, and that's one way of doing it without having to take the vaccine. But people who don't want to take the vaccine also don't want to take the test. You know, and
Right.
so it just, you know, it just goes around and around. Word up! I have to throw my brother George in here. He's another Virgo in the building.
Look at that.
All day.
You get, you know, you get just like Justin. You know all these folks' names.
No, man, that's because of Justin. Let's salute to Justin, because that's because of him. I know these people's name. You know, him repeating it over and over again. It's like you got no other choice now to remember people's name. You know, like everybody knows my name, Josue Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody knows my name too, Krash.
Morbius, Josue Gonzalez.
Morbio. So yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, so it is tough with this stuff, you know, because without having to get into the politics of it, it gets really tricky nowadays with this, you know, and I feel, to a certain degree, I feel bad for certain businesses, because as a business, you have to cater to as many patrons as possible, of course. But now you have a country divided on this issue, and it's just tough all around. This division is really, you know, it's creating a lot of strife in the country, and it's also going to contribute to, you know, another recession probably, because if like you said, if certain people don't have vaccinations and they can't participate in certain things and they refuse to get vaccinated, then you got less people spending money, and that's going to affect the economy. Morbius, did he freeze? Yo, yeah, I was thinking to myself, I hope when I get on the show today that Morbius doesn't freeze. There you go. You there, bro?
Yeah. What happened was I was switching Wi-Fi's. It done switched on me. Yeah. So you were saying, hoping when you was with vaccinations, I heard you say.
Oh, and that it's gonna, you know, this division is definitely gonna cause some more problems with the economy, because now that they're mandating certain folks to have vaccinations to participate in certain events, then you've got people that are not trying to get vaccinated. So then what you're going to have is less people spending money, and that's going to affect the economy. So,
definitely, you know, but you know, that's like that. Not only is it going to affect the economy, you know, but it's going to affect, you know, the businesses. You know, it's going to affect, you know, all these venues. You know, they're gonna be like, see, that's what I'm saying. Right now, I'm torn between, because, all right, let's see. Yeah, I mean, let's just get into it. Yeah, I mean, having a vaccine or a negative test is not terrible, but having a vaccine or no entry doesn't sit well with me. Exactly. That's the part right there, like what you're saying, that segregation that they're causing, that they're creating, is segregating people, separating people. You know, that's why they call it some medical segregation or something like that. They're calling it, or, you know, or vaccine segregation, some shit. And it's causing a division that is not necessary right now, especially now. You know what I mean? Where things are like, we don't need that. We don't need that type of. But you have your people on the left side, or on the right side, who are saying like, no, you need this. You need to get vaccine to save, and all this stuff, regardless of what the stats are saying. You know, you need to do this. And once again, it's like, you know, as long as, the way I see it, as long as you're following the guidelines, you know, from how things were, you know, before the vaccine, you know, I don't see no problem with how you could still function. You know,
well, to Michelle's point, let's just say, let's throw this out there. You have like we said this just before she made the comment. You have people who not only do not want to get a vaccine, but they also don't want to get tested, and they don't want to wear a mask.
Right.
So out of these three things, if the person chooses to do not any one of those things, and saying, yo, it's my choice, then I don't know, man. At some point there has to be some sort of compromise. You see what I'm saying? I get it. People don't want to be putting chemicals in their body.
Right. I get
But
it.
then,
I get it.
but then if you're not going to do that, can you at least take a test, or can you at least wear a mask? You know what I mean?
And that's it's like what Scheme just said. You know, those are the people who need to stay home because they're not. If you're not gonna at least compromise to a point of wearing a mask, you know, or taking a test, like you said, to go in and show proof that you good, then you know you really shouldn't come to that function. You know what I mean? You don't belong there. You know, because and not to say that, oh, that's your right. I get it, it's your right, but you also have the right to not to disturb or cause, you know, a problem unnecessarily, because obviously if you're going there, you know you're going to cause a problem. You already know you're instigating something. If you already know the rules and they're telling you you need to wear a mask to get in and proof, and you're like, nah, fuck that. You know, now you come in to cause a problem. Like that's already premeditated. You already come in there to cause a problem. You know, so it's like, but at the end, everyone has chemicals in their body. Word, they were vaxxed as kids. It's facts. You know, and that's my thing is, look, at least they're giving you the option. You know,
Right. There's options.
Giving you the option. At least they're giving you the option to say, look, get tested, and you still got to wear a mask. I mean, or yeah, take a test, show proof that you're good, and come in. You don't have to be vaccinated. I get it.
Wear a mask.
You know, wear the mask. Cool. You know what I mean? But it's the extreme, you know, that when things get to the extreme, that's where it gets kind of scary. You know what I mean? And everybody has a right. Everybody has a right, you know, to go about it how they want, you know. And
but also, how about the right of the business owner to refuse service? I mean, if you're a business owner, you have the right to refuse service to. I mean, is that a right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. No, you do have a right to refuse service, just in any form of fashion that you would if a person that came in butt naked or some crazy shit. That is your policy as a business owner. You have your own policy that you could create in your business to follow by. And if you don't want an unvaccinated person in your establishment, that's on you. You know what I mean? Just as you have people who have an establishment who, you know, cater to the unvaccinated. You know, it goes both ways. You know, so real quick, I see my homie Digger Jim. He's up in here, so let's bring him in real quick. Let's see what he got to say, because I believe he said he was vaxxed. Nope, that's Thomas Jackson. Sorry. Let's get in.
All right. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Thank you for having me on for a minute.
Pleasure, man.
Say my piece and I'll jump off. Basically, first of all, am vaccinated. I got a wife that is a scientist. There was no way she was going to not let me get vaccinated. She works at the Army base over here. They basically, in a nutshell, when all this went down, they came in and said, whatever you're working on, you're dumping it. And now she had to work on that for the last year. This is what she's been working on for the last year, was COVID. And I mean all the scientists. They didn't care what you were doing. It was crazy. She was like, there were people that had been working on stuff for like 5 years. And they're like, I don't care. Put it aside. This is number one right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to throw this out there to you and see if it sticks. Okay. If you're a smoker, right? When you get life insurance, do you have a higher premium than a non-smoker or a lower premium?
Higher.
Exactly. Now, why is that?
Because your risk, you could die. You're doing something that's gonna shorten your lifespan.
Correct.
Right.
And why do we? And how do you know that though?
Science.
So over time, right?
History.
Over time, we've gotten data that has proved that. Now we don't have that right now, but I know I read specifically that certain companies are going out and saying to their employees. And mostly this is the one I read about was the airlines. They said, if you don't get vaccinated, your health insurance will go up. And I meant like a lot, because they didn't want. Well, look at it this way. You're in a tube with a bunch of other people. And like you've been talking about, there's 50% of the population probably that still isn't vaccinated. maybe more like 47. But there's people that are going to be on that plane that aren't vaccinated. All right. And let's be clear, the vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID.
Right.
What it prevents you from is possibly dying from COVID.
Right.
One of my best friends, who is, 5 years younger than me and works out at the gym, excellent shape, he got it. And he said he had 2 of his worst days where he could barely breathe. It was like he was this close to going to the hospital. He's like, I thought I was going to have to go on a ventilator, bro. I mean, I couldn't. It was like they put a weight on his chest, he just couldn't get a breath. So, I mean, it's one of these things where you don't want to be vaccinated, fine. But if you want to go to this venue, they're giving you an option. Let's talk about Baltimore. They specifically come out and say, if you get tested within 72 hours and you come up negative, you have to wear a mask, but you can come and you have to show them the test. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want to adhere to that rule, you can't go. That's
Kick
just
rocks.
that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
Look, if I was running the con and that was my rule.
Yeah, exactly. The main important issue for me is having the choice. Regardless, it's choice. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about here. Free will. We have our free will. We have a choice. This is why we in this, country. This is what this is all about, right? This is what we built. We have a choice. And when you give somebody a choice, then I could understand that. I could fuck with that. I can deal with that.
Well, you can respect that. That is what America is, the land of freedom.
It's an ultimatum or then that's when it's like, hold on a second. You know what I mean? Slow down there. And there's a lot of people, that are divided in this. And it's understandable. It's understandable.
They feel like what's going to happen is you're going to get such a high percentage of people that have been vaccinated that it's going to get down to around the 20 to 30% of the population that isn't, and they're going to start to feel like they're a second-class citizen. And it's because they're lower the percentage, people are going to wonder why aren't you getting vaccinated? And some people, let's remember, there is going to be a percentage of people that cannot do it. They can't. They went to the doctor. They have too many physical ailments. It would cause them more harm or a higher percentage chance of being at risk for having one of those issues that doesn't turn out right. So in reality, that there's going to be those people. But in a nutshell, Baltimore Comic-Con came out and said you're going to need to wear a mask, and it can't be one of these things where it's like right here. It has to be a full mask. You have to be vaccinated.
Yeah, they're going to be very specific about the mask. Yeah. I saw that.
You have to prove you're vaccinated. Yep. They don't care if you put it on your phone or you bring the card. I'm bringing mine in my wallet. Shit, it's like a credit card to me. I don't care. I mean, look, some people are really like, oh, I don't want to violate HIPAA rules. We're not asking if you had an STD, bro. We're just asking if you had a shot. Okay. I mean, in a nutshell, that's it. That's it. So, I'm gonna go. Here's my license. This is who I am. Here's my shot. Let me in this mother because I want to get some cigs. I want to get, I want some comics.
It's you know what? That's why I love the comic community. You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not vaccinated, but I will take a test. I will prove to you I don't have COVID. I'll wear my mask. And I will go in gladly and I will spend a whole lot of money because I've been Krash knows. I've been working on saving up. I've been working on my budget. My wife is even involved in this. I'm trying to save up some money. I'm trying to pick up some good fucking grails that I want to just check off my list, and I'm working hard for this. So it's like you gave me an option. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to go and that's it. I'm not going to bitch and cry about it, but I'm not going to get vaccinated, but I will do the test.
I think it's within 72 hours, Morbius. So I think if you get it and you get them 72 hours, and they usually have a good 20. Lately now they're more 24-hour turnaround, so you should be all right. But
I'm not even concerned, man. I'm more concerned about not spending the money I'm trying to save before I get there. That's what I'm more concerned about. Because I actually have me and shout out to KnowGoodComics, Justin. I believe we have a date coming up next week. He had told me about a con, So I think we have something coming up. He told me to put it. Oh, the 21st, I believe, September 21st. We have a con.
New Jersey?
Yes, yeah, I believe it's another Wayne Expo. I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we definitely. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard,
Yeah.
but
I was trying not to. Like my buddy wanted me to go to Steel City Con in PA in August, and I was like, no. I got goals. I got to get that whole Marvel team up run done, and I got some things I want. So
nice.
But,
definitely, man. But
anyway,
Nigger, appreciate you so much for getting on here, man. Thank you so much. I just wanted to
make it clear. Also, they got a lot of new artists coming. They said so. Baltimore's gonna be off the chain.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Well, I see you there.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Yeah, so basically, since Morbius already mentioned it, since he said he hasn't gotten his vaccine, I might as well mention I've gotten mine. So that's why, this is like the similar dynamic between me and Morbius. You know what I'm saying? We cool, but we just see things differently. You know what I'm saying? So I actually had to show my vaccine card when we went to Puerto Rico. When we landed in Puerto Rico, there was a bunch of dudes in hazmat suits, having you fill out questionnaires. You had to present your results. You had to show that you're good to go. So, me and wife, we knew that before going, so we had to take ours with us, put it in a plastic bag so it wouldn't get damaged. But yeah, if we wouldn't have had it, we wouldn't have been able to get into Puerto Rico.
Look at that. Wow. Amazing, man. That's it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? As of right now, I don't plan on going to Puerto Rico. So I'm what I'm saying? I don't plan on going anywhere. And you already know. I'm not even really concerned. But it looks like once again, I just want to give a shout out to everybody who came in. Coffees and Comics is here. Azure Comics is up in here. Fable is up in here. A shout out to all you brothers coming up in here, representing, showing love. Once again, we had the topic of vaccination. Now let's talk about something else. We spoke about the pandemic. We spoke about it, right? We put it out there. But now I want to talk about something else that we were talking about. Maybe y'all can relate to this. We're going to change up the whole subject, Crash.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Talk about what?
Drunk purchasing. Let's go. Let's get it.
Oh.
Let's get it. Let's
okay. So, all right. So, yeah, Morbius and I, we were talking behind the scenes about, he was telling me the story of, actually, you know what? Why don't you tell the story, bro? Share the story.
Share the story. Hold on a second. I just saw something real. Stock up on comic and bullets. Yes, sir. That man knows what he's talking
expensive,
about.
Though.
They are expensive on both sides, both ends. It's getting expensive. You know what I mean? So for those of you who don't have your pistol, make sure y'all get your pistol, get your license, get your bullets, as well as your comics. Shout out to Mr. Thomas. He knows what he's talking about.
And good luck if you have an AR-15, because it's gonna be hard finding bullets at a decent price for them joints.
Salute, my brother. Yes. Real quick, I'm glad at least that they have a negative test option for Baltimore, but I have feelings that it's not going to be the norm. I of course not. That's just for now. Definitely, Michelle. I didn't want to really get too deep into it because I wanted to jump on another subject, but to be honest with you, I really don't believe that this is going to stay this way. I believe eventually it's going to be some way, somehow they're going to finagle it where it's going to be mandatory to have the vaccine. You will not have that option, unfortunately. And until that day comes, we just got to keep, chugging along, keep figuring this shit out, and stay on your P's and Q's, man. You know what I mean? Stay on your grind. Make sure you stay aware. Make sure you stock up. Make sure you do what you need to do to maintain you and yourself and your family, because we're doing it. Believe me, we're doing it. You know what I mean? We don't talk about this on the comic end of it, but we preppers, man. You know what I mean? Like, I got a year worth of food. I got a lot of stuff in my house. I got a freaking 10,000 watt generator. It's like I'm not. We ain't playing. We got guns. We ain't playing. You know what I mean? We talk about.
I got my joints. That's right. Exactly. I got my MREs. I got my go bag. What's that?
We not playing. I peep your shirt, Crash. Oh yeah, Nintendo. No, No entiendo.
No, it says no entiendo.
No entiendo. Hold on.
Yeah.
I missed it. Yep. Shout out to Jason. Yeah. No
That's
entiendo.
right. Yeah.
Don't
Hey, yo, man, that
understand,
gets me out of a lot of conversations I don't want to get into here down south. It's like, hey, buddy, you're like, ¿qué? ¿Qué tú dices?
No entiendo.
No entiendo. Habla español.
Yo, this nigga Ski waiting for the zombie apocalypse. Maybe, bro. Maybe. I'm one of them dudes that when I hear something like that, like, yo, the zombies are gonna be coming, I'm like, perk up, like, really? Really?
Yeah.
We're gonna get
Nah,
zombie.
we prepped. We prepped. Yo, I'm sure people don't know on here, but I was in the military for 8 years. So I picked up a lot of stuff. I got my weapons in the crib. Yeah, another prepper. I got my, like I said, I got my go bag. I got my MREs. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I got another bag in the car. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
we ready, son. We ready. We ready.
Come on, man.
Bring the fucking apocalypse, nigga. Bring the apocalypse.
I just took wifey to the rifle range last week, so she getting prepared too. Zombies already here.
So let's get into it real quick before we get sidetracked. I know we're talking about prep. We're talking about zombies now. We're getting crazy right here.
No, the drunk purchases. The drunk purchases. Okay, see, the reason, before you get into the story, I have to tell everybody here, the reason I get annoyed when Morbius does this is because I am Morbius's conscience.
Yes.
I am his conscience.
Yes.
And I'm always trying to speak some sort of wisdom in his ear so that he can get the most out of his collection. And when he's saving up to get certain books, like, yes, you know what I'm saying? Although, yes, another vet. Appreciate it. Huh? So when he works really hard to stay on these budgets, to get these gems that he's looking for, to get these grails. And then when he does some stupid ish like this, and then he tries to justify, like, well, you know, I was looking for it anyway. I was like, nah, you can't do that, because if you make yourself feel better about it, you're gonna keep doing it. Make yourself feel like shit, so you don't do it again. So anyway, going through the story so they know, they have more context.
God damn. All right, so check it. So over the weekend, Labor Day weekend, you know, I'm up there, we're chilling, we're having a good time by the fire, boom, doing it up, you know. Just that picture of the tiny Krash on Morb Soldier and a bottle of liquor. You already know. Speaking of, this way. So we're up in the cabin. I'm chilling. We're chilling, right? I'm like hanging out, and this is when you know you was fucked up. Like you was fucked up. Like I swear, I'm talking about fucked up in the dictionary. Like that's fucked up. Like you was there, and all of a sudden, I'm chilling by the fire, and I get that, you know, that notification from eBay. We all know that sound. You know what I mean? And it goes off, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, what is this shit? It's like, it was almost 12 o'clock at night. This was Sunday night, 12 o'clock at night. And I look at my phone that says, you won. I'm like, won what? So what the fuck is this? And I look, I was like, holy shit. It must have been like a week ago, last weekend, where I was getting a little too nice on the couch late at night. Must have put like some type of max bid on it was all right. Basically, it was like Jungle Action Comics. It was a whole lot. And I'm not even going to give you a price. I'm just going to tell you had a first Killmonger in there. You had a lot of heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I put a bid, and I'm like, yo, these things are, and another thing too, these things are very fine. Okay, they're very fine to very fine. So I'm just gonna say those right there, and those who know, those know. So I put a maximum bid, didn't realize this shit, and thankfully, I didn't go ham on my birthday weekend and started buying a whole bunch of new books because I've been saving up. I'm like, you know what? Let me fall back a little bit because I'm trying to save up for Baltimore Con. And then this comes. Last night, boom, I won. I was like, holy shit. And what fucked it up was the shipping. That's what, like, because I was under a certain limit. And then when the shipping hit, it brought me to a next tier. Brought me into a whole nother tier. And it was just like, no. And, oh man, bro, And then you know what I told Krash, and then that's why Krash was saying that I was trying to justify that shit. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to Krash. I'm like, yo, Krash, this is what I did. Krash was like, damn, nigga, you didn't even want those. I was like, actually, you know, the Killmonger first appearance was on my list. You know what I mean? And I wanted to get that, you know, so I kind of got it out the way by now, you know, and he was just like, nah, Sam, don't even play yourself with that. He was like, don't even play yourself. He was like, you didn't want them books. I was just like, nah, I didn't want it, but not now. I ain't want it.
He copped a whole lot. Yeah, that's probably why he paid so much on shipping, because it was a stack, bro. Yeah, man. But so my point though is that instead of trying to make yourself feel better about it, just be like, you know what, I fucked up. I wasn't really trying to spend this money now, and you know, instead of like, well, I wanted it anyway. Nah, you did, but not now. You weren't saving for that book. You were saving for Comic-Con. I mean, for Baltimore Con.
I was.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So everybody finds that shit funny.
You're right. You know, and exactly, like, you only live once, bro. Thank you, Scheme. Thank you, Scheme. Scheme, hit the link, bro. Hit the link. Jump in here. Thank you, brother. Hold on.
See, Scheme, you're enabling him for him to keep doing that.
I'm gonna put the link in. Scheme, there's a link right there. I just put it in the chat. Hit that link, bro. Jump in here. But listen. My thing is this, the way I justify this, guys, right? Those who've been there, y'all know I justify this. All right, it was on my list, number one. The book is getting hot, right? I got it for a great price within that lot. Amazing price. Got away with murder, you know? And on top of that, that's something that I know that down the line, it was going to hurt me. Just getting that one book, first Killmonger. Just getting first Killmonger would have killed me trying to get that. And that's a book that's been on my list for a long time that I put aside for way too long, you know? So that's why I was like, you know what? It was a fucked up mistake. I was drunk, you know, and I don't even remember it. So I must have been like fucking inebriated because I had no clue what happened, you know? And then all of a sudden, boom, here it goes, you know? So I'm thinking like, you know what? I had the funds at the time. It didn't break me. So I was like, you know, fuck it. Shit happens for a reason. You know, I probably would have been paying triple that just on that one book alone fucking next year trying to pick it up, you know, or gets to a point where I miss out on it because it just gets out of my price range, you know. But guys, we've all been there. Trust me. Yeah, we've all been there. You know, where we at? Who has it? Tommy Jackson, he was saying, who hasn't been there? You know what I mean?
Me.
We've all been there.
I haven't
been there. Mr. Responsibility.
No. I'm not saying I'm responsible. I'm just saying, well, first of all, I'm not really an eBay dude. You know what I mean? So
right.
I'm eBay when I'm drunk.
I'm eBay all day when I'm drunk, bro.
Yeah, here we go. See now you got your cosign. Now you got your cosign, right?
Here we go.
Yo,
let's get it.
It's all right.
Yeah, here we go. See now.
Thank you.
Now you got your cosign. Now you got your cosign.
It's all right.
Here we go.
Yo,
let's get it.
It's all right. It's all right.
Here we go. See now.
It's cool. It's all right. Yo,
you got a loop.
Why is it looping?
That's weird.
You may have. Do you have two devices open?
No.
Maybe your volume is too loud. You have two devices open?
There you go.
That's crazy.
He'll be back.
You gotta turn your phone off.
You gotta turn your phone off.
Right, because it sounded like he had two devices open that was pushing the sound.
Devices open.
So he had his computer and his phone. Okay. So no, I get what you're saying, Morbius. You're right. It makes sense, and you have a valid justification. I totally get that. My point though is that you're right. It makes sense, and you have a valid justification. I totally get that. My point though is that
yo, that's weird.
Yo, what the hell is going on?
Justification. I totally get that. My point
yo, that's ill.
Yo, that's weird.
See, that's what happened when the feds are up in this motherfucker.
He got off quick, right? As soon as he said that, he got there.
He's like, yo, I'm out, son. I'm out. So I got nothing to do with this motherfucker.
Oh man. But
yo, it's crazy though, but I don't think he's watching it from two. I think it's weird though. I don't know. It's weird because I'm pretty sure Scheme knows how to, use a computer and get on YouTube because we've done it so many times. So here we go. Come on, Scheme. What we got?
Let's see.
All right, we good?
We good. Let's get it.
Yo, that's weird.
Yo, that was ill. That was ill.
That's Crash. Okay. That's what's going on. That's Crash and all his conspiracies and.
No, this guy's a conspiracy theorist right here, bro. This guy.
I'm just saying, like, yo, real shit. Spend the money. Enjoy.
Word.
You only live once.
Facts.
Right? I mean,
no. This isn't the only time he's done this. He's done it several times, bro.
But the thing is, when that package shows up in the mail, you happy, right?
Hell yeah.
Have you ever been unhappy? Like.
Nah.
There you go.
Nah. I've never had. I'm going to say that. I will testify right now. I've never had a bad drunk purchase thus far. Knock on wood.
Okay.
I have not had a bad drunk purchase. I don't say anybody in the chat. Has anybody have a bad drunk? Have any of you guys? Well, not Crash because Crash is like he on point. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying I just don't drink like that. You know what I mean?
Yo, for me,
give me some of your experience with drunk purchasing, whether it was good or bad. Regardless, let me know.
Like the only bad purchase I've ever had is I ordered something or won something that I already had and didn't realize I already had it. That's the only time I've had a bad experience. But then, it's like, oh shit, this one is mint. This one is better condition than my old one, so I can flip this if I want. You know what I'm saying? So I've never really overspent that much and got pissed and was like, damn, I spent a lot of money.
Right.
See, you know what? That's why I could say I have not got there yet. But then again, a lot of money is different to everybody depending on where they're at. So that's different. But me personally, I felt in my budget, I have not spent a lot of money. Like I don't nowhere near that. To the point, you know what I mean? As long as bills are being paid, you have not spent a lot of money.
Right.
You know
So that's question. How much do you feel like you overspent on that jungle action lot? Like, do you feel like you overspent?
Okay, now he got
a good deal on it.
Right. That's a better question, I would say. That's a better question to ask somebody whether they made the mistake of making a drunk purchase, but rather did you when you made that purchase, did you overpay? Did you underpay? Did you pay regular market value? And I'm gonna say I underpaid. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? That deal probably will never happen again.
Correct. That's another reason why I was waiting for this, to bring this up, because like Crash said, when we spoke earlier today, it was like I was excited about it, but at the same time, it wasn't. How can I say? I didn't plan for it. So, but my thing, I'm grateful that I didn't spend any extra money because that was my goal. Though, my goal was I had my list, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend the money I had spent on this lot. I'm gonna spend it on these comics, but I had no clue about the lot. But I had the money already there because I was like, all right, I'm gonna go in Sunday morning, when I wake up, boom, I got my list. I'm gonna sit there, smoke my L, drink my coffee, and just fucking bam, bam, buy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then that, Saturday night, it's like bing, and it's like, what the hell? Like, where this? Like, now I gotta spend bread on this. It's like, damn, But then at the same time, you're like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, I got that.
Damn. Another reason that wouldn't happen to me is not nothing about no perfection and like that, but Morbius knows that I have a budget when it comes to my books.
Word, exactly. Michelle I try to stay off eBay drinking, but sometimes then soon sellers offer notification. Exactly. When you get that notification, I be wanting to like punch the phone, bro. I be like, damn, why you did that, son?
Yo,
like,
that's when it gets
like you know I'm gonna buy now.
Right. that's when they get you. And sellers like, yo, here's an offer. And you're like, oh, snap. Like, oh, man. Like, you know, sometimes that offer is just too good. You know?
Yeah.
You
it's right. It's true. It's true. But, you know, I have broken my budget for some really good purchases. But as I was saying before, I have a strict budget when it comes to my comic books. For the most part, I don't spend over $20 on an old book, and I won't spend more than 10 on a modern book. That's just me, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I happen to be fortunate.
Right.
I happen to be fortunate to have gotten a really great collection early on.
Right. Where
I was paying for cover price. You know what I'm saying? I was collecting in the 80s and all the way through the 90s and, you know, up to now. So I got my books for cover.
Crash.
Yes.
Crash. Just to piss people off. Tell them what you pay for that GSX #1.
Oh, yo, I'll be honest with you, and it was expensive for me at the time. I might have paid $25.
Right, it was expensive for him.
How much? Time?
$25
at the time. $25, and that was a lot for him at that time. That was a lot
for me. I was when I got that book.
And I was a lot at that time. Think about it. It was a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, it's like seeing books on the wall back then. That was $50. Like $50 in 1990 was a lot for a book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was a lot. Considering now $50 is a drop in a bucket. I mean,
yes,
right. So that's why when I paid for that, I was like, man, I was really going all out for that, and I was like, yo, I'm actually gonna remember. I'm in a time where the most I spent on a comic book might have been $4.
Right.
Because at the time, comic book cover prices they just went up to $1.25 at that time when I got that GSX. So remember, I'm used to paying 60-something cents for a comic book, then 80-something cents, and I'm thinking $1.25 for a book. Is this an annual or something? Why am I paying so much? And then to turn around and pay $25 for a book, it was a huge step for me personally. You know what I'm saying? But because I'm such a huge X-Men fan, I was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you. I mean, at that same time, you're looking at what, 80, 88, 89, Hulk 181, you would see it for like $50. You know, $75. That was a lot.
That was a lot.
That was a lot. For back then, even for me, I mean, I was pretty young. You know, compared to you old ass motherfuckers, you know, I was a young guy. You know what I mean? You know, I was like, you know what I mean, 13, 14. Y'all niggas were like, what, 21, 30? Well,
but even then, like even then, I had a good job at 21. I had a real good job.
There you go.
But I felt like dropping that much money on comics versus dropping triple that on a sound system in the car. Priorities was all messed up.
Right. And at that, for me at that time, I was a DJ. So I used to easily, without even blinking, drop $200 a week on records.
Right.
That was nothing for me. $200 a week on records. And I had a really good job too. But to put that on comics, it was like, I mean, I love my comic books. And remember, I want to remind everybody, I was more of an X-Men fan than I was a comic book fan. So I didn't have a lot of expenses when it came to comics. So yeah, man. But, you know, it's a little different now.
Yeah,
exactly. You know, and
like now, everybody got good jobs. We just buy what we want to buy when we want to buy it. You know what I'm saying? And we don't, because I think now we're more conscious of knowing, like, if I don't jump on this deal now, this deal's not going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
Exactly.
Versus before, deals was all around.
Listen, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem eating ramen noodles for a whole week or even 2 weeks straight for lunch because your homeboy OD'd on a deal, but not OD'd, caught a deal. You know what I mean? That was like, you had to jump on it. But you knew that when you do that, you're only going to end up with like $50 for the next week. All good, fam. All good. Like I got my plan planned out. I got my bananas. You know, I got my fruits. I got my ramen noodle. I'm good. You know what I mean? And then I get paid and I'll be back on my feet again.
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned about like being on a budget like that and just eating ramen. Because I was on the Migo Facebook group, right? and Mego and Topps are doing these exclusive figures that's like, you know, quick one-offs, right? That you can only get on the Topps site. And I'm looking at all of the cats crying and complaining because they do a 1 week pre-order and then that's it. So cats are complaining that they get paid the opposite week, so they can't afford $19.99, and so they're pissed. And I'm like, well, guess what? You gotta just either lose out on that figure or eat ramen for the next week.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
But cats are complaining. Like I'm like, if you're a collector, like we all complain, like, yo, I don't have the money for that book right now. But like these guys are crying, like they should make it 2 weeks because I get paid the opposite week. No. Like if you don't have $19.99, maybe you shouldn't buy everything. Maybe you should pick and choose what you want to buy.
Right. Yes. Exactly. Be a little more discerning. Exactly.
Right. But you know, as collectors, we want everything and then cry when we can't get everything.
Yeah.
Right.
The world ain't like that.
That's true. That's true.
Nah, it's not built like that. And unfortunately, you know, the world doesn't work that way. But you know, when you have great people in a community like you guys, you know, to surround yourself with, and everybody who's in this chat, everybody else who's out there that we build with, that we surround ourselves with, you know, as a collector, you know, I think that has a lot to do with it now, because back then it was different. Scheme, you know, Crash, you know, we old school heads, you know, and a lot of people in this chat are old school heads that, you know, you felt you was by yourself, you know, in this whole collecting thing. You know what I mean? You was the only one immersed in it. You was the only one, you know, looking after, and pretty much your circle. You are the only one within that circle back in the days. You know what I mean? There was really no one else. It was rare. Me, I had the luxury of having my brother, so I was very lucky to have a brother who I collected with. You know, I was very lucky. But outside of that, it was just like no one else gave a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like you try to mention that shit, and they're like, "What? Like the fuck out of here?"
Look at you like you're crazy. Yeah.
Like,
see, it's good that you had your brother, because my story was I didn't have anybody, and I think I forgot what it was. Somebody's question I answered online about learning how to collect. I forgot who it was, but I remember my first 10, 15 years of collecting. I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't have nobody to talk to. The only person I would be able to really kick it with is the guy who owned the comic store. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and he was cool people, don't get me wrong, but that was, I still had nobody to share it with. And for people who don't know, I was in a rap group back in the days, the Arsonists. Not one of them dudes knew that I collected comic books. They had no idea. Destroy, you know, he does the show off your gems. So it's ironic that I was in a group with him and I never bothered sharing that tidbit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was
crazy.
Like, we were all hip hop. It wasn't about comic books. You know, that wasn't a conversation to be had. You know what I mean? So I didn't share with nobody.
That's crazy, man. Like that, you know, and that goes to show so much, because we all fall in that. All three of us here all have a very big music background, you know, and we all are in that circle of people who were at the time you felt like, especially when you were younger, you know what I mean? You really didn't bring the shit out. And back then in the genre of music that, you know, we were in, you know, hip hop, you know, in the sense, you know, that it wasn't a normal thing. It wasn't like a thing to even discuss. You had to be a real hard rock, you know, stay true to your word, MC. You about that life, you know, street life, you know, you about that city life, you know, and it had nothing to do with collecting. So it was hard to talk to people about that. It was hard to, when you mention it, you kind of felt kind of awkward, like, oh no, never mind, nah. You know, because you didn't want people to think you was a nerd or you was geeky like that, or you was, you know, you didn't want them to see you in that light. You know.
So Crash, you basically took that tour money and you just disappeared and bought comics. You never even told the crew why you was leaving the hotel.
He was out. He didn't give a fuck.
No, I was buying comic books. They had no idea. They would come over my house because I had a mini recording studio at the crib. They would come over to record all the time. Come over and smoke blunts and stuff like that. And my comic books are in the back of my closet. They had no idea. You know what I'm saying? And I still got the brown marks around my cardboard where you can tell how much people used to smoke in my crib, you know, because I had a home studio. So, and I had my shit in crates at that point. I didn't have my stuff in boxes. They were in milk crates.
I missed the days of having my comics in crates. That was a good era.
Dude, like, Steve, not for nothing. Do you know when I got rid of my crates?
When?
I know.
When I met Morbius, he's the one that convinced me to take my comics out of my crates, and that was only like 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Well, that was because I wanted him to make sure that he took care of his comic books, because they in the crates they were exposed to the UV light. They were exposed to all that light. That's the only reason. You know, believe me, I miss my crates, but at the same time, I was like, yo, Crash, you need to really. And he had none of them bagged and board. Them things were in the same bag and board for like 30 fucking years. You know what I mean?
Little brother school big brother.
Right. It was almost
little brother school big brother. Okay.
Well, yeah, he was. I think he put me on.
The best part about it is when I went to Atlanta with my family, we went chilled with Crash. We chilled for the weekend out there. It was a few, like 3 years ago, and
yeah,
right. And then he had all his comics in boxes. You know, he had everything laid out, and they were all in boxes. And I'll never forget that day when we went up there, and he was just like, "Yo, everything has been, transformed to boxes." And it was just like, yo, this is great. And that told me right there, like, yo, not for nothing, this man right here, like, he's on his grizzy. Like, he's on his shit. You know, because I'm not even going to pan my camera down, okay? But he's on it because, like, when he has everything organized by alphabet, he like, yo, A, B, C, D, E. I'm like, man, stop. Like,
that's
this
a little too
man
much for me.
I love organizing stuff, bro. Like this drawer, right here, these drawers.
Right.
It's all alphabetized.
People thinking like that, they know clothes in there. Crash. Open that second one. Open the second one. People think there's clothes in there. Ain't no clothes in there. Y'all think it's clothes in there? Yeah. Bang bang.
This guy.
Bang bang. Bang bang. Here we go.
This guy.
And he killed me.
Four of them. I got 4 of them here. And then over on this side, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 long boxes and 3 short boxes.
There you go. And that's how many short boxes holds one shelf in that dresser?
This one is like 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each one holds a long box. So this is 4 long boxes right here.
Nice. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All my stuff is nice and alphabetized, for real.
See, she an organized Virgo. You know what I mean? I'm a disorganized Virgo. I'm like all over the place. Y'all gotta see me in the morning when I'm looking what to post, or at night sometimes. Like, man, it's a mess, bro. I'm going through.
You know what? Like, I don't have anything alphabetized, but I got everything by like titles. And I know where everything is at. You know what I'm saying? So if you're like, go pull out a so and so, I can be like, oh, it's in this box, you know. So I mean, I applaud you. Like, even my records is like, it's like, oh, soundtracks, yeah, it's over there. You know.
Yeah, my records are in no particular order. I know where those records are at. I have them memorized. So that I don't have organized. But as far as that collection goes, my comic book collection, I have 12 boxes. I have like a total of maybe 13 long boxes, and 6 of them are X-Men. The rest of my collection.
You're a true X-Men collector.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He is
X-Men Unlimited,
aficionado, bro.
X-Men, Extreme X-Men, Ultimate X-Men. I got the whole run of Ultimate, and then X-Men Affiliates. Like, I got the whole run of Cable. I got the whole run of Generation X. All the mutant stuff, but mostly
everything mutant. He got everything X, Excalibur, all that shit.
You got you got a long box full of Jack Kirby.
No. Yeah, I was posting them, but you gave me the pass, so I was like, let me put these back under the table. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had to pay my penance. Yeah, I understand that I was being a bit blasphemous for some people, so I paid my penance.
I gotta tip my hat to Crash, guys. We're down to the wire. We got about a few seconds left. And I think I gotta tip my hat to both you gentlemen. Crash, I gotta tip my hat to you because since day one I met you, you have been definitely a mentor You have been a big brother to me, and the same goes with Scheme. Since we have met, there have been a serious connection where my brother, like, I look at you as another mentor, a big brother that I didn't have growing up on the block. That, you know, when I was running across the street, you grab me by the back of my shirt and pull me back and be like, "Yo, little man, you gotta watch that light," you know, and that, you know, that's how I see you guys, you know, as the big dudes on the block when I was running around. You know, I ain't know no better. So I appreciate you guys for jumping on. I always, you know, love you guys. I love hearing your opinion. You guys are true aficionados in this collecting game, you know. And of course, on Scheme Riches, you with the, I mean, guys, if y'all don't know Scheme Riches, please go look him up. If you're in here and don't know who Scheme Riches is, you should kill yourself. But go look up, go follow him. IG, his information is in the bio, is in the link. It's in the description. My bad, I'm tired. And
yo, no tire purchases tonight. No tire purchases.
No tire purchases. I'm going straight to bed, man. I had a long weekend. I've done enough purchasing. That little bidding fiasco kind of, you know, I'm tapped out, my fan. I'm tapped out. You know, but definitely I appreciate you guys. Once again, shout out to everybody who was in the building. Appreciate you. Thanks for Digger Jim for jumping in, for holding it down for a second, giving his opinion when it comes to the vaccination. Shout out to Moonlit. She always holding it down. That's aficionado. She's
Jim. That's right.
You know what I mean? I'm surprised, you know, Michelle didn't jump in on here, man. I was expecting you to jump in, Michelle, but I already know. Shout out to everybody. Azores, I appreciate you so much. Yeah, man. Once again, thank you guys. Thank you again. It's a great show. I actually enjoyed this, man. This open forum. I thought this was pretty cool, you know. Just to have people come in and speak their mind, and we all just, you know, talk on different topics. And I think today was a great one. So once again, shout out to everybody who's watching this replay. I appreciate you. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Make sure you check everybody out in the description. You already know. Catch y'all next week.
Peace.